Yeah.
Alright, hold up.
1, 2, 2, 2.
Good night, greetings everybody. We are G-Syndicate, and tonight is vibes as we syndicate you. Vibes, you know. You're gonna be hearing some songs off our upcoming EP. Things gonna be nice. So right about now, we starting with this one. Ready to blow? So are you ready to go? So are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Oh, ready to blow, ready to blow. Oh, so let me go.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
It's time to start the party. Sometimes we be getting dirty. This time we're starting this thing right. Hey, so just kick off your shoes. It's no time to feel the blues. So baby, we gonna do our thing tonight. Oh, leave the work at home, leave the stress alone, toss away your worries. Ain't got no time for that, baby. Now you got the chance. Lose your fears, just dance. We're gonna rock this party. Just raise your hands if you're ready.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
It's time for you to be free. Relax, just enjoy the party tonight. We just gonna ease our mind. So just leave them on the wall, 'cause we're not gonna step on all in. We're just leaving all our fears behind. So leave the work at home, leave the stress alone, toss away your worries. Ain't got no time for that, baby. Now you've got the chance. Lose your fears, just dance. We're gonna rock this party. Just raise your hands if you're ready.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
Let the music take control. Let it seep into your soul. When the bass line starts pulsating, feel the stress keep evaporating. Let it creep into your mind. There could be no better time to get on the floor, 'cause we're just ready to blow. Ready to blow, start up the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark on the trombone.
Start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go.
Give it up for Mark, y'all. So let me go.
Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go.
Ready to blow,
ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go, let's go. Ready to blow, start up the show, get on the floor, let's go.
Yes, folks, good night one more time. We are G-Syndicate. This next song we're going to do for you, you can find it on our upcoming EP called Revive. We released it last year, and we're ready to rock. This one is called Chemistry.
Hey girl. Hey girl. looking. Sweet calico, the honey bar, good looking. The way how you move it, put me in a mood, I'm glad to see you. Your waistline on the baseline, so attractive, I wanna be a captive. I see a smile on your face now, so beautiful, I know you're original.
So come wind up on me, I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back for me. Don't hold back, girl, just be free. Love when you're not on, show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. That's my baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. I love when you're not on, show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. That's my baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. We're still grooving. We're still grooving. We're still grooving.
Come talk to me, girl. Classy and intelligent, and you run the world. And let me say face to face. Know you feel the tension, just had to mention. Your brown eyes, shining bright. So gorgeous and glowing like sunlight. I hear your voice, angelic eyes. So amazing, I wanna keep this going.
So come wind up on me. I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back on me. Don't hold back, girl, just be free. I love when you're not on, show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. I love when you're not on, show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, cause we're still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving. Still grooving.
Hey, girl, I wanna take you home with me.
And hey, girl, show you good energy, yeah.
Hey, girl, I wanna treat you right, you see, you see, you see.
Hey, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. What you won't do for love. You try everything, but you won't give up. What you won't do for love. You try everything, but you won't give up. So come wind up on me. I wanna see if you got good chemistry. And come push back on me. Don't hold back, girl, just be free. Love you're not on, show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, come and just groove. And I love you're not on, show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, come and just groove. And I love you're not on, show off, show off. You have my attention, girl, you're sweet off. Dance with me, baby, step out, step out. Just keep it moving, we're still moving. I love you're not on, show off, show off. You have my attention, and that's for me, baby. Step out, step out. Just keep it moving, but we're still grooving. We're still grooving, still grooving, still grooving. Yeah.
The next selection is entitled Englishman in New York, a song made famous by Sting in the 80s. Hope you enjoy.
I don't drink coffee, I drink tea mate. I like my toaster on one side. You can hear it in my accent when I talk. I'm an Englishman in New York. See me walking down Fifth Avenue, a walking king here at my side. I take it everywhere I walk. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and smile. Be yourself, no matter what they say.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Englishman in New York.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Modesty's propriety can lead to notoriety. You could end up as the only one. Gentleness, sobriety, all rare in this society. At night a candle's brighter than the sun. In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made up. There's nothing you can do. In New York, takes more than combat gear to make a man. Takes more than a license for a gun. Confront your enemies, avoid them when you can. A gentleman will walk but never run. If manners make it man, and someone said he's a hero of the day. It takes a man to suffer ignorance and strive. Be yourself, no matter what they say.
We know you sing at home.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Englishman in New York City.
I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Englishman in New York.
Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Now, growing up in the 90s, I would have loved these songs. I'm sure those of you that know them will love them as well. So we got two songs coming up for you. We got I Wanna Know by Joe and Someone to Love by John B. and Babyface. Hope you guys enjoy.
It's amazing how you knock me off my feet. Every time you come around me, I get weak. Oh. Nobody ever made me feel this way. No. You kiss my lips and then you take my breath away. So I wanna know what turns you on. Yeah, I wanna know, so I can be all that and more. And I'd like to know what makes you cry. Oh, so I can be the one to always make you smile. Girl, he never understood what you were with. No. And he never took the time to make it worse. More loving girl. Baby, I'm the kind of man who shows consent. Yes, I do. Any way that I can please you, let me learn. So I wanna know what turns you on. Yeah, and I wanna know, so I can be all that and more. And I'd like to know.
Warning. What you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel expressed by friends, family, and Instagram memes and quotes. Open-mindedness is advised.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, and welcome to another edition of the Senate Podcast. I'm your host, Neil, joined as always by my brother from another mother, and your host, Derek.
Here. I in the crank. I mean, we want right thing here for the people, man. We want right thing for the people here. So where is come?
All alone, but her little so shallow. I said,
Hold up. Wait a minute.
She belongs to the streets. Real talk. I said what I said.
That will never happen. You will never live to see that happen.
Is that gonna work with me? Vicky is.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody is well. Talk to my brother. How is everything? How is life? How's it going?
Man, I can't complain at all. I am here abiding, as the old people would say, and we here for another. We back in the saddle, man.
Yeah,
Back in the saddle another time, ready to rock. How's everything on your end, man?
You know how it is. Your boy here. Boy is all right, man.
Abiding as always.
Abiding. Trying to get the dot in, but for some reason, she's telling me that the link is not working. So trying to figure that out so that we can get things a sort of way. But in the meantime and in between time, my brother, just do your thing when it comes to G-Syndicate. Plugging them. I would have had ready to blow on screen just before the show. So just, let everybody know how that school keep.
Yeah, man. That was the virtual show that we did. That was early this year or late last year?
Late last year. That was
boy.
Middle of last year. Year before a bit.
Last year for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, check that out here on YouTube, G-Syndicate 6. You can just check us out at gsyndicate6.com. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, G-Syndicate 6. And for those of you who are wondering on Instagram, yes, we have been hacked and the hackers are up to their stuff again. So anytime you get the one with the number, report that. But you can find us on Instagram, G-Syndicate 6, just spell out the 6 and you will find us, right? So if you get the one with the number, report that the hackers doing their thing again. But we are trying our best to fight them off. So big up the guys, big Kiyama with Mark, Brett, Hugh. We are going to be at Jazz in the Yard at the St. Mary's Church. They are having an event there and they've asked us to be a part thereof. And we are going to go down there and do our thing and carry some shellings into the churchyard. Yeah, and it's for a worthy cause. They try to repair the church roof. So, shoot, those of you who got $100 to, contribute, to spend or anything like that, feel free to donate, make a contribution towards the church's restoration. And now that we're talking about making a contribution, Neil.
Oh boy.
We doing things, man.
I hear so, man. Yeah, hold on a minute. Let me.
We doing things.
I know. See, Tamtar
Culinary Creations. Yeah.
Let me get
Put that on screen. Right. Put that on screen. Tell you what. Right. Shout out to my guy Avery Brathwaite. Avery was at the King's Gathering, May 6th at the Ginger Lily Hall over in the Bell Estates. He was there. He was part of the gathering. He really enjoyed what he saw, and he is the owner proprietor of Tamtar Culinary Creations, and he has offered to come on board and be in a partnership with us for the second King's Gathering. And since we're talking about the second King's Gathering, you put that up on screen too. Big up the monies again for accommodating us. We are scheduled to have
here real fast.
the second edition of the King's Gathering at Ginger Lily Hall one more time in the Bell Estates, but we're going to shift. We're going to make two different adjustments that we would have made from the event before. In May, earlier this month, we had the one. It was Saturday. It started in the morning, ran over into the evening. What we're going to do this time, because people don't want to give and stuff like that. In an attempt to get more people there to receive the information that we are going to be delivering, we are going to shift not only to a Sunday, but to an evening event. So we are hoping that shift will allow more people to be present, to come on through and receive, because it is good information to get. Dr. Carey was there. She could tell you for a fact that we had some good information being disseminated throughout the night. See my man Hugh in here, Renwick in here, Tango, Fox, Cherish, Aston, Marlon. Big respects to all of you. Thank you for coming through. And yes, if you look, you will see we are looking at the King's Gathering, part 2, the second edition, right? And my guy Jorah Rock, he has said that he is ready to bring the gloom and doom again. So Jorah is ready. He is going to come and he's going to present one more time on the legal aspects that men need to be careful and be wary of. So he is already on board. We're going to fill out the rest of the panel as we approach the day. And of course, we will let you all know. But Tamtar Creations, they have come on board to provide refreshment for that day. So big respects to Tamtar. They also do meal prep and stuff like that. I know a couple of the guys that were at the gathering did ask me for his information to get in contact with him in terms of getting meals done. And that is also something that you guys can investigate and avail yourself of if you so feel the need, because everybody's need a little help, in terms of meal prep. Sometimes we just don't have time.
Yep.
So it always helps to let the professionals deal with those kind of things. So if you could put it on the screen one more time for me, Neil, Tamtar Culinary Creations, they will be the people to hook you up. And we are going to have a little discussion with them in terms of what we're going to do and how we can make it happen. Yep. How we can make it happen. So you can look. That is one thing so far. A bit of good news going forward into the second edition of the King's Gathering.
Yes. So the King's Gathering, we can do things. You know how we can do. Everybody really liked the first one. I think that this is good information. Sunday, 20th August at 6 p.m. Ginger Lily Hall at the Mannings. We can try to do. The people love it, but of course, we can try to do this at least once a quarter, or somewhere around there, once every 4 months. We can try to do this thing based on the numbers, but we really do appreciate all of your support and all of your feedback. And of course, we have the lovely, talented, beautiful Dr. Carey up here. Dr. Carey, if you can just move a slight bit to your right. Let me get center frame. There you go. Let people see you, man. How you doing, man? How's everything?
I'm good. Fine. Hi, guys.
Yep.
Hi, everybody.
Hail.
Right. You're still in Barbados. You're going back. We'll talk to people, man. You're still here.
I'm stuck in Barbados.
Oh, you stuck in Barbados.
Stuck.
Oh, okay. That's
you get kidnapped. All right.
Oh dear.
All right.
Whew, I'll leave that right there. I don't want to
call the van. You gotta call your van.
Yeah. I won't put the body per blast, but we left that right there. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. We do content for you 5 days a week. Along with this space, Tuesday and Thursday, the non-Dipsy Doodle space. That is the live stream, the podcast. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday, as I said, at 8 p.m. Barbados time. I don't really know the other time zones like that, but just Barbados time, let me work from there. And then of course we have the Senate shorts. Every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays we put out some short bite-sized content of the Senate. We record those and we put those out for discussion, entertainment, etc. They're a little more wild. Some of the things you may have to take with a grain of salt simply because it's the internet and Derek has been in the streets. Credit to Derek. Derek, this is gonna actually be a segue into what we're talking about tonight, right? So like, comment, share, subscribe, like the content, share the content, so we build the content. Now, Derek, we are talking this evening. We call it Derek's calling it bus driver. Do Eboni K. Williams's recent comments reflect how many women view relationships? And I asked Derek, well, who is Eboni K. Williams? I never heard of this woman before. Derek said, don't worry. just brace yourself. The man asked me, the doctor available? I said, well, I'm not her agent, but, we could see if she is available for such a thing. So Derek, Derek, I always know when Derek on something. Derek has always asked me to tell me brace myself, and he's want to bring people. So he's like, this body available, that body available. Let me get the triggering. Let me match somebody's triggering. So anyhow, shout out Baratonis, he's here. Hugh says good night, Doc. We got Renrick in the house. Big ups to everybody, and give us the likes. So to that segue, Derek, we are talking about Eboni K. Williams. Let's just tell us, who is Eboni K. Williams and what did she say? You're muted there. I think you're muted.
Sorry about that, man. Yeah. What since you come on in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Just make sure that you're still subscribed. You see, we got 5 likes so far. We appreciate that. This is episode 213 of the Senate Podcast, the live stream version. So we thank you for checking in with us and being here, rocking with us as usual. As we say, Barbados, Dr. Kerry, don't mind that, right? So we can get into it. Now, as you guys may have figured out by now, if you're watching enough of the show, I love stand-up comedy. Stand-up comedy presents the cold, hard truth in a way that is palatable, even if it is indeed hurtful. So, yeah, I see you now. Over the weekend, I was watching some old stand-up comedy and I came across this next clip from the legendary comedian Samore. And this is going to be the intro for tonight's show. So, Neil, without any further ado, let us get some more on screen and hear what she has to say.
All right, Dr. Kerry covered, right? She got. All right.
Yeah, man.
Let's get it. 3, 2, 1. Wait, you gonna play it?
Now, because you got to get you a motherfucking man. Women kill me. I go from city to city and I hear women always tell me they can't find a man. You can find a motherfucking man. Let me tell you something. If you're a grown fucking woman and your pussy don't stink, it ain't no reason why you shouldn't be able to find you a motherfucking man. Now, if you got a little older with you, I understand your frustrations. But you can find you a man. You know why women can't find a man? Because we too motherfucking picky. We too motherfucking picky. We worried about what he driving, how much money he making, where he living, who he was fucking before he was fucking us. Find you a motherfucking man. Shit, in today's society, a man can find a motherfucking man. Y'all better stop being so picky.
Mm-hmm. Yo.
Yeah, man. That's some more. See, it gonna be, it can't be some picky ladies, so she's saying. Now, a few weeks ago, Eboni K. Williams, she's an American lawyer, television host, and she co-hosts the late-night talk show State of the Culture on Revolt TV. She co-hosted the talk show on WABC Radio in New York City. I was a co-host of Fox News' 2017 show, Fox News Specialist. In October 2020, she was cast in The Real Housewives of New York City for its 13th season. And if ever there was a red flag, that certainly is one. Anytime you're on The Real Housewives or anything.
Yeah.
Eboni K. Williams recently went viral with some comments she made during an interview with Ian Levanzant on The Griot. So let's hear what she had to say in that particular clip.
Let's get it.
Teach a man or tell a man how to be a man. So I will not ask you to indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Ayanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build When some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well.
Let's go. Let's get it. Shout out Shane World. Shout out Aston. What I go on, my brother. Marlon and the Crank.
Yes.
Jimmy Boat there.
No. A lot of people, mostly women, came out in agreement with and in defense of her particular stance. And of course, we have a few of those screenshots for you to see. So let's get those screenshots on screen here. If you got them there.
Yeah, I got them here. So let me cue them up here so real quick. And you are good to go.
All right. So we got child. There's nothing wrong with her wanting a man who is within the same or close to the income bracket she is in. She's a lawyer, not a school teacher or a retail worker. And as a school teacher, just a little bit of an offense to that. Just a little bit. But hey, we don't really make the money. We know this. Anyhow, people don't like honesty. She wouldn't date a bus driver. What should she be fair and lie? Any excuse to bash black women.
Oh,
before
my
they
God.
were ratchet and no classist. Shaking my damn head.
Oh, my God.
Next one, she didn't put down bus drivers. She is about dating within her income level. She is a millionaire. She has a preference and standards, and it's absolutely nothing wrong with that. True.
Agreed. Fact.
Then we have this one. Let's be real. Would she have asked an established white woman this same question? And would Ebony even be in the vicinity to even meet a bus driver? Y'all always want black women to settle. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a bus driver. I told you to brace, Neil. That might work for a woman with a lower or average salary. But let's be real, Ebony is not an average woman who makes an average salary. And I'm sure she would want to be with someone who makes around what she makes. Her everyday life probably looks very different from the average woman. So you really can't compare her to that.
I would have to agree wholeheartedly there. I agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Now, we've already unpacked on this channel that women don't only want a man with a job. You know this, right? That man has to have a certain kind of job. Gentlemen, brace if this applies to you. Women, a lot of them, do not want blue-collar men. Yeah? He can't be a pipe fitter, even if he's doing well for himself and his family. And you know you don't really choose these comments arbitrarily.
Right. Of course.
There's a reason.
Of course. That's why I laugh. Yeah. That's why I laugh. Mm-hmm.
That job doesn't carry enough status as much as like a bus driver doesn't carry much status, right? Women would much rather prefer to be with a man in cyber security.
Shout out Kevin Lee.
Yeah.
Gooner.
Neil, you are with me all the way, right?
Yes, sir. I hear
Not to carry you with me. Good stuff. Now, ladies and gents, this isn't just a North American problem. When we started this channel, I asked a question on Facebook. You can put it on the screen for me. What qualities do you want in your man and why? So let's check out some of the responses. And I ask people to keep it respectful. The names have been redacted to protect the reputations of the innocent and the guilty alike. And the first response said, a job. Right? And somebody said, funny how men think this conversation is a bad idea. It's a personal preference question. If the traits don't apply to you, that's okay. Also, if the traits the woman now please note, she's saying we're talking about traits. Somebody said a job first. Anyhow, altogether, because that is also okay. We are not supposed to be exactly the same. True. As it relates to my list, Derek Marshall, one, someone who can have a conversation that is, in essence, not just talk, but listen. 2, good looking. This may sound superficial, but let's not fool ourselves. Looks matter. 3, interested in their health and wellness. 4, employed. 5, sense of humor. 6, open-minded and looking to grow, whether financially or otherwise. There are more, but that's a start. The next person said, excellent communicator, ambitious, hardworking, supportive, empathetic, easy on the eyes, romantic, intrinsically motivated, monogamous, to name a few.
Just a few.
Just a few. Next one, affectionate, attentive, intelligent, including street smarts. Remember we said got that corporate Tupac. Committed, loyal, monogamous, great conversationalist, forward-thinking, resilient, sensitive, active sense of humor, but not a joker.
Oh dear. Oh my.
Stable in every sense of the word, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, financially, attractive, reliable. Then another one says, but specifically, I think women want a man who compliments them. And this is a compliment with the E, not the I. So you don't just come and tell them nice things, but somebody who can be, the completes them, if you want to say.
Look how the teacher look. Look how the teacher look. When they want daddy, but
don't make enough money. Anyhow, who they can just be themselves. He be himself, and it works. If I'm financially responsible, he needs to be as well. If I'm gainfully employed, you better be earning money too. If I want a family, you better be in that state of mind too, or else problems. You can disagree about other things, but the basics must be shared. Not how many times we see financially earning and stuff like that money coming through, right? So fellas, pay attention. It matters.
Get your money up.
Yeah. And when we do business affair on Thursday, you're gonna see that this. When I nearly tell you all the time, we talk about love, and this thing, and then the love thing. Anyhow, based on the speech patterns on this thread, I'm going out on a limb and argue Derek Marshall, major contributors are QC women, standards high by, right? That's from a good mutual friend of ours, right? Anyhow. So we've seen all that. We see how many times financial security comes back and is ringing through in each of those posts. And to be fair, financial stability is important, gentlemen.
Very important.
Don't let me. We can't beat running bush. We can't dipsy doodle that. That is important. It is necessary because at the end of the day, you need to be able to protect and provide. You can't do that when you're broke and homeless, right? Now, having said all that, I think it must be noted that success is relative. Some ladies may see a van man as an older, more successful man. Other ladies may consider a man in middle and upper management to be an older, more successful man, but you get the point. So let me say here that I have no problem with women saying upfront, right? Upfront, that they have no interest in being with a man in a lower financial bracket.
That's their preference. That's fair.
Yeah, I have no qualms with women saying that. If I step to you and you think I don't make enough money, tell me so up front, and I keep it pushing. But ladies, please say that up front. And gentlemen, if you hear that, if you want me to tell you so up front, keep it pushing, right?
Yeah, don't come with your shaming language and just it is what
just
it
keep
is.
It pushing. Keep it
don't
moving.
come and talk about how this is, a gold digger or whatever. Nah.
That got nothing to do with you didn't upside your bracket. Keep it moving. Now, Navy did a live stream a couple months ago that explains why the concept of a woman settling with a man who is on a perceived lower level is a recipe for disaster. So, as I say in old time radio, let's go to the tape and hear what we had to say then.
Let's go. It's almost like she in your head. Good evening, Lee. Women shouldn't settle because they will eventually get resentful and show it. Anyhow.
But Lord Lee, but since you're there with me, Lee, let me go forward, right? Let me make a forward, right? Here's an interesting bit of trivia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Studies have proven that women who make more than their partner face double the likelihood of divorce. And Neil, we already know, Neil, and those of you in the Senate, we already know that women initiating divorce at an 80% rate.
Mm-hmm.
But don't believe me. Let me read the article, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one from the Daily Mail. Are you on screen?
Wait, hold on. Let me get to this. So Because what was the title?
This is one about
I
faking orgasms.
I got you covered. I got you covered.
Right.
So let me get the headline on screen. So I'll read the headline there again. So as I
Women who make more money than their partner are twice as likely to fake orgasms, study reveals. Note it says study reveals, not Derek reveals, not Neil reveals, not the Senate reveals, not the misogynistic men in Barbados reveals. This is what the study say. All right. Are you ready for me, Neil?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Knowing that your partner has faked an orgasm may be one of the most morale sapping experiences for men, but how much you earn may be the reason behind it. Psychologists have found women who make more money than their male partner are twice as likely to fake an orgasm in the bedroom. Men who earn less than their partner may have a fragile sense of masculinity due to the long-held stereotype that men are the primary breadwinners. Those of you who are listening to me right now, and you know you're making less money than you woman, I know you under pressure right now. It's not my fault, right?
Study show.
Study show, right? As a result, it's thought women kindly try to alleviate the man's financial insecurity and boost their ego by faking orgasms during sex. However, protecting their partner's sense of masculinity may come perhaps at their own expense, as it stifles sexual satisfaction and honest communication, the experts say. Nearly 1 out of 5 women fake an orgasm, according to a 2020 survey, and on average, both men and women fake it about 4 times a month. Right? The new study has been led by Professor Jessica Jordan, a psychologist at the University of South Florida, and is published in the journal Social Psychology, Psychological and Personality Science. The results show that women who made more money than their partners were twice as likely to fake orgasms than women who did not make more money than their partner. Professor Jordan and colleagues also conducted 2 further studies with a different sample of participants. In a study that collected data from 283 women, they found that the more women perceived their partner's sense of masculinity as fragile, the more anxiety and poor communication they experienced, which in turn predicted a lower rate of orgasms and sexual satisfaction. An additional study involving 196 women found that participants who were asked to imagine a male partner whose manhood was fragile were also less likely to provide honest sexual communication, including being able to admit when they have or have not had an orgasm. Yeah. So as you all would have heard just now, settling with a man on a lower level, financial level, will put a relationship on the fast track to failure. And for a couple of reasons, divorce, and then, the faking the orgasm thing. Not everybody wants to do that. Men and women, nobody wants to be. Everybody want to enjoy the little sex without, spitting for people.
Dribbling for somebody back.
Yeah, you don't want that. So, ladies, if you meet a man and he's not your type for whatever reason, be honest enough to say you're not interested. Do not decide to do charity work and give this guy a chance, only to be frustrated down the line and make that man's life miserable. He doesn't deserve that. Now, fellas, if the woman tell you no, just walk away.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, let me retract. Let me come again. Fellas, if she tells you no without actually saying it as well, yeah,
yeesh.
She may not say it with words, but she want to be nice. But if you can get any choosing signals, if you get a no, left it out. Yeah, we as men, we got to do a better job. Reading was no, right? Now, continue from based on the clip you just watched. Women who make more have difficulty being under the mission. Anybody catch that? Being under the mission of a man who they perceive makes less than them. I see you, Dr. Harry. See you smiling. You catch me? right? Eboni K. Williams went on an apology tour of sorts, which turned out to be the excuse tour and the double down tour, and said that it wasn't about money, but the fact that she mentioned income lets us know what the real barometer is. Women find it difficult to respect and get on the program of men that don't earn as much as they do. That's just true. The studies down. You just show you the clip, right? They just don't have the capacity to do it. They don't have the capacity for that, big man. So let's hear what this lady, she's a millionaire truck driver. So let's hear what this millionaire truck driver lady had to say, and then we can come back and dissect that.
All right, on screen, let's get it. Let's get it.
You met a man and he treated you right. What would be an acceptable amount of money for him to spend on a wedding ring that would make you happy?
Well, I don't care about that type of shit at all. At all. Like $1,000, not whatever you could afford. I'm not big on material shit.
So we talk about this because this is, unprecedented where, women are making that much money. And, it's hard to probably find a man who's at that bracket.
Yes.
So you always probably come into a situation where you like a guy, but he's going to be way under you.
That's almost every man I fuck with.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So how do you judge when to be submissive and when to be dominant in your situations? Because you're always going to come in the breadwinner, I'm assuming.
So first off, for a woman, for any boss woman, that submissive shit, it takes a certain type of nigga to make me submissive, number one. And I don't mean by no damn bank account. It's way deeper than that. As long as a nigga is a man of God and he's staying on business and he's a kind person.
See Dr. Carey there, giving these spirit fingers. Phila, I see Phila. Good night to you, Phila. Derek and Neil, stop taking up Dr. Carey's quality time twice a week now. Why?
Dr. Carey is in it to win it.
Why?
So we heard what our driver lady friend had to say. And I really want you guys to note what really happened just now. To her credit, she did mention the qualities she was looking for in a man that extended past his employment. And she said she had no problem with a $1,000 ring. But, you see the submission part? You can't get done with that. The boss chick can't get done with that curse word submission. So that's important to note as well, right? So sometimes we gotta look past the things we want to hear some of the other things that are being said. You want me to tell you point blank? Can't happen for me. Yeah. No. There's also this clip. We got a lot of clips for tonight because I like to drive home the point. From this lady named Kimberly Nicole Foster, explaining why she too can't date a man working in a blue collar field. So let's hear what Kimberly Nicole Foster has to say. She's a blogger. Yeah, I'll leave it there.
All right, let's get it.
Somebody weeks ago asked me, okay, who would you date? This person, would you date blue collar? Would you not? And I said, I would date somebody who makes less money than me, but I probably would not date somebody who is blue collar. I do date men who have college degrees, and they said, well, why? Why not? And this is my real response. And this is a real issue that I've never seen people really reckon with, because I am a Black woman who has access to so many upper middle class, above average earning Black women. And I see how they have navigated their romantic lives. And this is different generations, different nationalities, different ethnicities, all Black women. And so many of them have, particularly older women, had no, college degree requirement, honestly, because if you're a certain age, you can't really have a college degree requirement and date Black men. Like, the pool just is not there. Had no income requirement and partnered these men, married these men, and the results were disastrous. The class difference, the resentment that comes from that is absolutely disastrous. Something that Kevin Samuels nor the rest of these men are really contending with is what happens when there is a large class difference, not just financial, like socioeconomic difference, but class difference, meaning what do you do for fun? Who do you hang out with? What books do you read? What newspaper? Like the idea that that is just going to be so easy for both parties to surmount is crazy. I have never seen that happen. What I have seen happen is women saying, oh, that does not matter. We can be partnered. And the men realizing, oh, I cannot fucking handle this. There is no attention paid to the resentment from men when they are on the lower class and they have to look up to their female partner financially and socioeconomically. And there's all of these things that you don't know, experiences that you have to learn. I have seen that firsthand. And I'm not saying that, trying not to yell anymore in the new microphone. I'm not saying that these men don't deserve love, care, and affection partnership. I am saying that because I have seen the deep resentment that those kinds of dynamics create, that I would not just suggest anybody just do that willy-nilly. Like it's nothing. Like, oh, who cares? It's just money.
Yours is just money. There you go.
I'm here, man. I'm here. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Showed that video. Big up Kimberly Nicole Foster. We got a Foster watching that message and say she had to be what she last name. So maybe it's a Foster trait. Who knows? Anyhow.
Oh, rascal.
So now, folks, another part of the argument being posited here is that the blue collar guy is not able to hack it in the same social circles as the white collar lady. And the presupposition being that the white collar is associated with intelligence, class, affluence, while conversely, the blue collar is associated with, ignorance, a little bit of righteousness, some impoverishment or impoverishment, as one or most politicians called it on the political platform. But this assumption really accurate? And does it speak to the character of the man at his core? I would submit that it does not speak to the man's character at all. Right? We all know that we've got some high-flying corporate men that really ain't used to when they come to the insides, And then there's some people who are not on that level or in that socioeconomic bracket who are the sweetest human beings, right? I also need for us to acknowledge that both Eboni K. Williams and Kimberly Nicole Foster acknowledge that they dealt with men from all races and socioeconomic backgrounds. Sure. Eboni K says point blank, she's done them all. I met that up. If Nee was to play that there again, you hear it. She says she's done them all, right?
Yeah.
But no man was good enough to meet the earning, class, or intelligence criteria to be with these women. Is that we can believe that here? That two women heading hard for 40 have never met a man worth their time. I find that difficult to believe. Let us also consider, folks, that men always gravitate towards fields where they will be of significant use. A few months ago, there was a bad accident down on the coast road, going to the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Broken bones through the skin and that kind of thing. Minivan collided with a car, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And Cherish is in the chat tonight. Big up Cherish. She sent me 2 screenshots I want us to look at now. Right? You can put them up there. I think they're from the Barbados Photo Society.
Mm-hmm. You're on screen.
Right? And Cherish made a point. Let me just get them and read them for you. This morning, 2 yellow buses collided. The road was slippery from rain and one went into a slide. turning sideways across the road and slamming into the oncoming bus. Within no time, there was a full-on emergency response team of the police force, defense force, ambulances, trucks with shoulders, fire brigade trucks, and multiple ambulances from hospital, defense force, and more. Impressive to watch. Police closed off the road. Ambulances came and lined up. Never seen so many. Some had to park up Crusher Site Road. 2 fire trucks with full teams. Driver of one of the buses had to be cut out. Defense force arrived, both with ambulances and a truck full of soldiers to set up a nursing tank. Doctors and nurses everywhere. Kudos to them all. And she says that's from her front gate. And then she posted the pic of the guys in their DPMs, right? And Church made the point that most of the men were in the pic. And based on what I described to you there just now, it's probably mostly men that were on the site and responding.
Yep.
On PNSB that morning. What Ebony and so many women like her, let me phrase that differently so that this English sound right. What Ebony and so many other women like her is missing by holding this train of thought is that when the world stopped 3 years ago, it was the blue-collar workers who remained employed. Suddenly, the blue-collar workers became the essential workers. No, the title is different now, right?
Essential, yeah.
Essential workers.
That's
a lot, man.
Lucky, man.
Big up Lord, man. Lord, man, work the most he ever worked in his life during the pandemic. I hope you listening to hear that. But bigger Lord, man. Yeah? Bigger actor. Dealing with Actar was dealing with telecommunications and stuff like that. People needed to stay connected. Actar worked right through, on call 24 hours almost. Right? Same thing for Lord, man, in the health, Ministry of Health. Right? Those guys became the essential workers. Them is the men that kind of drive about 11 o'clock and thing at night when everybody else on the curfew. So they probably do some horning and thing. Not the two of them specifically, right? Just put it out. But if you was getting hard during the pandemic, fellas, it was probably by a policeman, a fireman, somebody in telecommunications. That's the man that was horning you during the pandemic, right?
Oh, shoot.
So one would have hoped that with that worldwide layoffs would have changed this kind of superficial thinking and make us all more aware of what is really important in life. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case. Here in BIM, yes, doctors became the MVPs, but guess what? Sanitation workers never stopped working. Health inspectors never stopped working. Guess who didn't stop working either? Bus drivers never stopped working. As a matter of fact, we ended up with even more bus drivers because guess what? Social distancing dictated that we have more buses and consequently
more drivers.
The linemen at Light and Power, police and fire officers, construction workers never stopped working. Those of us in our cushy white-collar jobs, we had to look for holes. Our employers had to scramble to put measures in place to allow us to be able to work from home. Things that we had been asking for years got put in place in a matter of days and weeks. What a lot of us didn't see coming though was that our employers suddenly realized that they need all these to get the work done, especially if they had a couple overachievers in your department who wanted to work around the clock. So employers use the pandemic as an excuse to do what? Downsize. And many of us ended up jobless on the unemployment line. So don't knock the blue collar worker. You may not smell good when you come home. May not look nice and pristine when you go. But hey, that man got money in his pocket. That man working. That man, them is a reliable, stable man. Because guess what? A lot of them men is own things. Then credit card and smoking. Them men is own things. Them men is got houses. Them men got cars. And when you see them on the weekend, it's a different movement from when you see them during the week and upon the job. Don't knock it, ladies. Yeah. Iyala set up Ebony with a question of our profession, which is perceived as menial and not requiring an abundance of intelligence to do it on a daily basis, and for all of her academic accomplishments. Eboni did not see that, and she took the bait. The setup was as plain as the nose on her face or the weave on her head, but her arrogance and her disdain for the average man was so rooted in this woman that she couldn't even front for the cameras. Imagine that. Study that. Girlfriend could not even be relatable in front of the camera and tell some lies and say, yeah, but they're the bus driver. She couldn't even front. Now, here's the thing, folks. Yeah, because I know some of the ladies will say she don't want the bus driver. She want the owner of the bus. And that's fine. That's fine. Ironically, she says that whilst on a platform that she herself does not own. But I digress. Yeah. Earlier in the screenshots, we saw the usual talking points about dating within an earning bracket and people wanting black women to settle. And we can do a settling. Maybe better do that. Better do that Thursday. But anyhow, better do that Thursday. And that's gonna like continue on from this whole settling vibe, right? We want black women to settle. But what about what that man in her earning bracket and socioeconomic bracket wants? Is anybody concerned about what that particular man wants? She doesn't want the bus driver. She wants the owner of the bus. Fair enough. Don't get me wrong, folks. Everybody should want better for themselves. But of course, it leads us to the question that women can never seem to answer. Why would a man who worked hard to get the best in life accept a woman who wasn't up to the level that he wanted? Don't fool your foot, folks. We have said it several times, diverse times on this channel. Men do not care about degrees, etc. They don't. Want you to be nice, want you to be friendly, just be cool.
Yeah, just be simple. No, not simple, but be easy.
Yeah, just be cool. You know what I mean? Shoot, Savannah James.
She's on the real MVP, boy.
The real MVP, right? She has been in the good, but she's the real MVP, right? You got Savannah James.
Shout out LeBron James, too.
It was some real Lakers jersey tonight, you know.
And your skin will boil off, you know. So a dog like you.
When they done this monologue, you can go and make a war road change and come back.
Oh,
anyway,
so a dog.
Savannah James, she recently came out and said, you know, people ask, well, why she ain't come out and do this and why she ain't do that. She said it was comfortable being, just want to enjoy being a mother. You know? She just want to enjoy being a mother. So here we are, folks. Now let me get into the real nitty-gritty as I head into the line playing here. At this point, ladies and gents, we are going to need women to admit when they call men shallow and narcissistic. Let me use two adjectives. They call men shallow and narcissistic. That is an attempt to project and deflect. Stop the cap. At this point, we are going to need women to stop fronting and admit that they do not care about things like morals, character, and integrity, especially when they're young and at their peak sexual market value. Not personal value, sexual market value. They simply haven't been taught how a man is supposed to show up in their lives with 4 Ps on offer. They just don't know. And it's fine that you don't know. Admit you don't know. Try to work it out. It is only when women get older and the options start to dwindle, the phone calls and the text start to slow down, that then they want to acknowledge the average guys, the bus drivers, the firemen. Don't make well. Police, many uniforms tend to do a little bit better, but the bus driver struggling. The reality is, when women are young and hot to trot, they do not acknowledge the average men in their cohort. They don't. Neil and I, we could bear that out for sure. Yeah. There are some women that we would have a chance with now that we certainly would not have had a chance with 20 years ago.
Hell no.
Yeah. Those women had no time for us. Gentlemen, if you agree with me, if I tell you lies, let me know if I tell you lies. But if you agree with me, put some ones in the chat, gentlemen. You got some women now. You see now? You got a chance with them, you can't get a chance by them. And men, we had to kind of build ourselves up to get the opportunity to have a chance, to get the opportunity to get an opportunity.
Marlon wholeheartedly agrees, man. Man's flooding the chat in once.
Invariably, when women are hot to trot, they are attracted to and get involved with older men. And to be honest, it's part that can hurt men. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And again, everybody should want the best for themselves. So if you feel that an older man is going to provide that stability for you, go for it. But choose properly and get what you could get. I'm sorry, that sound bad. Be in a stable relationship, right? But here's the thing, folks. The crux of all our issues is the fact that many average women believe that they are superior to average men. That is the real issue here. And we need to acknowledge that fact. You don't believe me? I know some of you don't believe me. I know the women can say, that ain't true. And that ain't true. We don't feel we superior. Blah, blah, blah. A lot of women have a very overinflated sense of self. Right? And I ain't saying that you shouldn't love yourself and think more best for yourself or think you are the best or whatever, but sometimes we need to be a little bit more realistic. So I know you don't believe me when I say the average woman believes that she is better than the average man. So as usual, I have evidentiary proofs for you, proof positive. Let's check this particular video. I will await y'all's comments in the chat. Brace, Aston.
Hold on tight, Aston. Hold on tight. Let's get it.
Hang out with ugly people. I just don't. Like, if you can't dress, if your hair's always a mess, if you're just not attractive, sorry. Like, we can't be in a clique together because I'm not the most gorgeous person, but when we walk into
don't
the
be
club
saying
or something,
stuff like that.
What's the problem, Dr.
Why?
Karen?
I'm not the most gorgeous person. Like, don't.
I mean, I'm not a
freaking
freaking 10. You think I'm a 10?
Yes. You don't think you a 10? Oh my gosh, girl. You have to always think you a 10. How you gonna say you don't think you a 10, but you don't hang out with ugly people?
You can't be a 2 or 3.
What are you to you? If you're not a 10, you might as well be a 2 or a 3.
8.
7 is a 2 or a 3. If you don't say you a 10, you might as well be a 1 because now you just playing games with yourself.
What? I don't understand that conversation. What?
Let me understand it, Nathan. Don't worry. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Now listen very carefully to what I'm saying here because I like to speak. Still like to be mindful of the fact that we are on YouTube. You saw what you saw there just now, right? You saw what you saw. Then you heard what you heard. So that's what I can say. Because I got more videos I could bring to show you that. Shoot. But I chose that one.
Never empty here. Don't test that. Don't test that
one for a reason, right? Yeah. So we have average women. They believe in their heart of hearts that they are superior to average men. Character traits like integrity, conscientiousness, honesty, and the like are secondary and tertiary to physical attractiveness and definitely to income and perceived social status associated with particular spheres of employment. This is why, ladies and gents, so many women will never see value in being with the bus driver.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit notification bell so you don't miss anything. We do content for you 5 days a week now. Get on the train. We here. We out here.
Get on the bus.
Get on the bus. Get on the bus. We here. So give us a like, comment, share, subscribe, share the content. Let me build this community. Let me get the conversation going, or whatever is whatever. Dr. Carey. No.
Yes.
You are a PhD, literally. You are a doctor, and you obviously, I don't know how much his work for Benny might come, but I can say that with your job comes a level of, it puts you in a different stratosphere when it comes to the options of men For example, you have degrees. Like, sure, you're making that paper. You understand what I mean? Or you have the potential to make that paper. How important is it for you to have a man that is on your level or above? What do you look? Oh, no, don't let me turn this into a dating show, because somebody may be like, all of a sudden, don't they beg? So I got that. I got that. I got that.
Let me shoot my shot here.
No, right. But I mean, from the standpoint of how important is the financial aspect of things, which we know is important, but juxtaposed against things like integrity, morals. I know we have a lot of conversations usually about emotional maturity and self-awareness, et cetera, et cetera. So go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, PhDs don't earn as much as people may think. We do not. It's a it's a harsh reality, but we didn't get this far for the money. We actually didn't do it for the money. So I'll just put that out there.
You don't do it for the likes, you do it for the love.
I do it for the likes, for the kids, from the kids, teaching. But honestly, I've dated people before I got my PhD. I dated folks that were in the six-figure earning space that I was in at the time. And the integrity wasn't there, right? The exclusivity, the commitment, the loyalty, those things were not there, even though he was earning more than six figures at this point. Probably he's beyond the millions. But yeah, it was me and every other girl, right? Because at the time, considering where we lived, he had the ratio was like one man to 4 or 5 women. So the reality is men who are earning in that million and multi-million dollar bracket have their pick. And I think somebody said in the chat, I think Kevin was saying in the chat, so millionaires, $1 million men, whatever, shouldn't be dating hairdressers, right? No, they don't. They actually don't. They date the women who do not have degrees. They don't even date women like me. They don't date women who have these multiple degrees on average. They date very, what society would say are basic women that are the fine, feminine, but also quite not altogether mentally. They're not women of depth or character for the most part. There are some that are, and those women are very strong in their spaces. But by and large, the men that these women are talking about are not dating women of, I think something was said in one of the clips, high class or caliber, So yeah, that's the reality. But money is important, and we've been socialized as women. I keep telling you guys about the social conditioning we go through that we don't pay attention to until we get to this point where you're sitting at home all alone by your lonesome self and realizing, well, damn, I was told I was supposed to do all these things and I've done these things, but now I've run myself into a space where I only have this many people to choose from to so-called compliment, right? And the reality of the matter is the associations that we put towards money don't include the things that Derek was talking about earlier. When you really think about the integrity, the commitment, and those pieces, money isn't necessarily associated with those things, right? Character isn't associated with high worth, high net value worth kind of thing. So we have it twisted, as Derek always says. We have it twisted, we have it backward type of thing. Yes, I agree that it is important to have. I'm not saying it's not important to have money. Hell yes, it is. Otherwise, how you going to eat? How you going to pay your mortgage? How you going to travel and take care of your children, right? But what we associate to $1 million and multi-million dollar status, it lacks for the most part, it lacks people who are valuing commitment and integrity and discipline and other things that are critical to having a healthy relationship.
Yeah. So I can just say my piece here. I think it is interesting. I think in hearing everything that Derek was speaking about, everything that was presented here, And I know Dr. Kerry would have had this conversation, I think, sometime last week, where we were talking about, I think we had shared a video or something like that on Instagram or whatever, and it was like, the discussion was centered around like dating a reflection of yourself. For example, you know, men and women, we do have these standards, and they could be sometimes very unrealistic. And then they could be downright entitled. So, for example, you would want to date a man that is a millionaire, or a woman that look like this and that and this and the third and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth, but you don't have you don't have the masculine equivalent or the reflection of that. So, for example, you want a woman look good, but you out of shape. You want a man that making 6 figures, but you ain't about nothing. This woman just now was talking about, and Derek tried to tiptoe around it, but that woman just now said she don't date ugly people. She don't date people who hair is a mess. And looking at her hair, it look like a mess to me. I mean, I'm sure she's an attractive woman in the right spaces or whatever like that, but I think, I think, like, and I want to be clear, I ain't here saying that I is Rico Suave or Brad Pitt or Michael B. Jordan or anything like that. I ain't walking about saying that I don't date ugly women. That, you know, was beauty in the eye of the beholder. I mean, I like beautiful women. Derek likes beautiful women as well, but you know, that could be a very subjective thing. But I ain't on here thought about how one, I don't date ugly women. So if you're a woman that, I don't put out that energy out there. There are certain things I believe that and this goes back to the preference thing, right? Like, we all have our preferences. And if you have your preference that your mom must make a certain amount, he must not be a bus driver, he must do certain things, he can't be digging wells, he got to be doing whatever he's doing.
That's on you.
Then that is fine. That is what are we laughing at?
No,
not Nacho Vidal. Not the legend that is Nacho Vidal. Nah. I am not worthy enough to be that epic. Yeah, check out that Nacho Vidal, the legend of Nacho Vidal on our channel. An amazing piece. But I think that I don't have a problem with anybody having their preferences. I think I have as I always say, I have a problem with you wanting your preferences, and then when you don't meet your preferences, you vex.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, no, men ain't shit because they're not seeking you out, or they're not. You know what I mean? And I often ask, okay, so you don't want to date a bus driver, and that is fine, because me personally, I don't know. I mean, we can have this discussion another thing. Would I date a cashier, for example, right? Because a cashier or I don't know, somebody's something like that, right?
Pump gas, or yeah.
And I would say yes, I would, but I think what would be important is that the woman be ambitious. I mean, even if they love pumping gas or being a cashier, what happened?
You saw the women that call it for the date shows. Yeah, but then if you're ambitious, you know, if you want to do more.
Yeah.
That's what women's call it, say.
Yeah. But no, in a serious light, right? You gotta be both something in life. You have to be aware of self. You gotta be prudent, and you have to be willing to. You want to be a cashier. You want to be a cashier. That's what you want to do, right? But how are you rounding yourself as a person? You understand me? How are you? It's one thing to be a cashier. There's another thing to accept that that's your lot in life. You understand me? And there's another thing to say that you're not open-minded to learning and experiencing other things, right? And yes, it's different for men and women, but by and large, I think that women have this, and I always say that women don't want. I can get some flack for this, but I find most. Don't let me say most. Let me say not all. Some women want benefactors. They want sponsors. They want support. They want butlers. They want. You know that it's funny, right? They don't like the word submissive, but they want a man to be subservient, right? With his bike account, with his protection, provision, problem solving, etc. Right? You want a man to cater to you. You want a man to you expect a man to cater to you, and him not expect any catering at all from you, right? And that to me is a problem. And you can see it with the demands, the list of demands that women want. Shoot, we
something for nothing.
Exactly. And shoot, let's go on the other side with men too, because this is a space of accountability. At the end of the day, there are men that want women that look like this or like that, or women that are submissive under the guise, subservient under the guise of submission, and want women to acquiesce to them in a very sexual or domestic situation. They don't want to grow with the person. They want somebody to take care of them. They want a maid. They want a sex servant. They want somebody to facilitate functions instead of loving and growing with them, out to doing things out of care and love and support, right? And I think that's the problem. I think a lot of people here are caught up in what you could do for me, right? When we speak, when Derek and myself, we speak about being in a relationship and submission and these types of situations. And then shout out Samuel, man. Samuel Knight. What you doing about my brother? I saw Kevin earlier, Kevin Hunt. What you doing about my brother? When we talk about being in a true relationship and submission and these sorts of things, when you're in love with someone and you want the best for them and you're in a relationship with them, things like submission in, provision in, protection in, nurturing, these things aren't things you got to think about. These are not things that you have to measure up against your partner. Like I met this man a sandwich last week. He even met me. He poured me a glass of water this week. Like it's not like that.
Score.
It really ain't like that, you know. And I think the problem is a lot of people have either experienced that kind of relationship, but it wasn't fraught with danger, the edge, the Tupac, Guntotin, Jamarant, Jawick kind of vibe, right? Or they have not experienced that kind of love and affection, right? And then when you throw around buzzwords like men afraid of simping for women and women afraid of being oppressed, like the color purple, like, you understand, it gets to be a very sticky gray area of how things are supposed to be. But how I see it and how Derek, I can believe, sees it as well, is that we are looking for relationships. Men and women should be looking for relationships where, yes, there is love. And Dr. Carey, you taught me this years and years and years ago. I don't know if you remember this. Years and years and years ago, we had a conversation. I think it was like 5 years ago. We were talking about love. And love being an action word, not a noun. Right? And at the time, I was like, you love somebody, you know what I mean? You love somebody, but it's only as the years went on, you start to realize that it is an action word. Like your love for someone will cause you to do things like get it every day and cook meals for them, despite you not necessarily gelling with the person at the time that the older generation used to do. Love is getting it every day and going to a job you hate to provide for the family that ain't necessarily gonna say a thank you at the end of it, but you love them and you don't mind doing that because you are more than happy to do that. That is what love is. And I think part of the conversation that is being lost amongst the red pill, blue pill, green pill, X pill, all these pills, all the different pills and the woman's side and the man's side, I think what's being lost is the true act of love. I know Derek says that love ain't got nothing to do with it, but I obviously, on the other coin, I think once you have the basis and foundation of love and you want to grow with the person, it will kind of see Derek laughing again, trying to be professional, man. Come on, Derek would think, but to me, once you have that kind of love, and it's very rare now in 2023, but if you have that kind of love where you love the person, you down with the person, you're willing to work with the person, you're willing to talk things out and have the courageous conversation, shout out Romel and his wife, right? It will kind of inform how you move with the person. It is selfless. It is not selfish. You are looking for the best in both of you, right? So, you know, and it comes second nature. And to be honest, if I'm being very honest, sometimes when you find yourselves in these spaces, particularly as us men, when we find a woman that really willing to be that kind, we just be like, hold on a minute. I remember the first time I dated a woman, this years ago, I dated a woman, and she was like that. And I had never met a woman that was willing to just do for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, women would do things for you, but like just do things and it not be like a backhanded comment or Just somebody that willing to do and show you kindness as a woman and nurturing. And it throws you off. And we here in the Caribbean, we here in Barbados, everything is always a backhanded kind of thing. Men, we women, we can't just give a compliment. We just can't empower without some sort of grounding. You know what I mean? I can't say, my dear, you look good here in your scarf and thing like that. I gotta say,
I left you too high.
I said, there, you look good with that Eurocentric, whatever. Dr. Kerry, I would say, you're looking very nice today. You can't just say that. You gotta say, man, who my hair you trying to attract here on the show? You know what I mean? It always has to be some, and it is something that I am aware of, that I do it too. I need to get out of that. And I think that if people understand that love is the underpinning thing that causes you to move into action, and not I want love, so I love this person. Why he ain't doing it for me, right? Because of love, this noun love. You look at it as a verb and you say, I love this person, so I can get up and cut the breakfast. I love this person, I can draw them a bath. I love this person, I would do this and that. And and again, it is selfless, but also it is not wrapped up in being blind. Because let's be honest now, you could love somebody and you could pour them a bath, cut them a food. You could do all these things and that person ain't doing not one thing for you.
Not one thing for you. Yeah.
Right? That is love out of balance.
I wanted to add as well the idea that people love out of seeking reciprocity.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a girlfriend of mine this weekend. We were hanging out on Sunday, and there were simple things. She and I were saying that in relationships, there's some simple things that we miss about being in a relationship. And it's not necessarily out of reciprocity. It's that there are things that a relationship puts in place, a space for us to behave as women in a certain way, whether through love and affection and just kind of being the feminine. And people don't pay attention to those small things, right? Like you're saying, it could be a meal, it could be bath time, it could just be sitting together, reading newspaper together. And people are undervaluing or completely neglecting those critical pieces of a relationship and how those pieces relate to provision, protection, structure, safety, time spent, all those things, because we're so caught up in this, well, Lord, he not making this money, and it's always the guy. Like, why can't the woman make the money and be okay with that and not have to fake her orgasms? Like, what the hell is that? I've never even, I was like, what?
You gotta get it tremble at 2 workouts.
There are things that we have seriously connected, and there are associations that have been screwing with us for a long time, because if our associations as women are so strong with a man and the level of money he's making, that's going to make me have to fake in the bedroom, then I need not be with that man. That just because he's earning a certain, no, if he's earning that money but I have to be a fake in another space, that don't make no sense to me. That doesn't make any sense.
That's me. That's why when we, oftentimes the men is get together and we made a shot, and shout out a very close friend of ours there. He would say, he's fit, and I just be like, I can't. Like,
we discovered the other night that a lot of the men haven't been fit before.
I cannot imagine faking an orgasm as a man. I can't like I would rather get up and go home. Just, you know what I mean? Like just a sweetheart. Just
it's not working for me.
It's not nonsense. It's not as hey. What I would also there's something also to be said, Dr. Kerry, based on what you just said about intimacy. And I think the problem is too, a lot of us don't understand true intimacy. I saw something on YouTube, on Instagram. I can't remember how I came across it, but it was talking about intimacy. And intimacy does not start when they look playing and say, let me turn you over back way, and that is not where intimacy starts. Intimacy starts from things like you were mentioning, like laying together, reading your newspaper. Well, in 2023 is being on your phone. Your leg draped around mine, and we just kind of breeze in.
Easy
or
stuff, yeah.
or like jokes and finding your own like your
Rhythm.
own language. You know what I mean? It's kind of like your own speak, your own jokes, your own like side looks and things like that across the room. It is, even intimacy could be wrapped up in doing things for each other. You know what I mean? Like, can I do anything for you today, babe? You want a sandwich? Need some head? You know what I mean? Like it like intimacy is more than just sex. I think a lot of people get confused with intimacy being sex or racy conversation, and people that's why the intimacy part of it is taken out of love, because love is love and intimacy is sex. So, and women don't really, you know what I mean? Even though women like sex and things, we men, we get it whenever we could get it. But women don't really process it like that. Not saying women don't like sex as much as men. I'm just saying that a woman could prioritize sex more so than a man. And, prioritize other things over sex than a man. So it's just interesting that a lot of people have this selfish take on things, men and women, about what you could do for me. Will you? And I find too, Derek, to speak on the spaces that we in the manosphere, red pilled, even though I don't like to use these terms nowadays, but I find that the message is being lost and diluted because it is now about being in a position of power, being in a position of what can I get, and how can I, dare I say, borderline take advantage of the other person, men and women, right? And that's not really what it's about. In my opinion, I think that these spaces are to help, well, first to educate men, to let them know, brother man, just be careful out in these streets now, especially if it's a man and me, you work, build it yourself, etc., etc. Not everybody coming with a good heart like you. People can take advantage for you, right? Human beings ain't a good. And since you're a heterosexual man, chances are women, because you are looking for women, you may find women that may want to take advantage of you, right? So I find we need to do a better job of understanding what love really is and how it influences and impacts the decision making and the actions that we do with people. Because if you really love someone, then you understand yourself. You come in from a space of self-awareness and understanding. If you love someone, the action of love, y'all are in a space of love, then things like divorce, unless something atrocious is happening and nefarious is happening, divorce ain't an option, right? Or if it's an option, it's a very last option.
I am going to have a blast cutting up this conversation to bring my in another live stream. Don't worry.
That no problem. That ain't no problem. As I said, this is how I see it. I am fully aware in 2023, we've kind of lost the plot. I realize in 2023 that if you do end up with a person, man or woman, chances are the love thing gonna change because of so many distractions and influences we have on us. Like, yeah, we can be in love now, but when you start to realize that men should get sex X amount of times or X amount of times, and girls should be treated this type of way, or women should be treated this type of way, and you start to realize, man, look, I ain't getting this at home. My man don't buy me a Birkin bag. My woman don't bend over backwards and this and that next. Like, then you start to say, let me go and look for this elsewhere, or you start to sour on the person. So I just saying, I'm not telling anybody to go there expecting the fairy tale version of love. I'm not expecting that. But what I am saying is you have to be aware enough to know how to cultivate that space, and how to also be aware enough to know when that space is not being reciprocated. You understand what I mean?
Is the real crux of the matter there.
Yeah.
Because as I said earlier, I think we wait too late to recognize the signs that, things are not being reciprocated. And to your point, Neil, love is an action word. So fellas, we got to see action. We have to see action. What are we doing next? You girl can't be telling you she love you, but you can't see nothing that reflect the fact that she love you. Or let me say you girl, you personal girl, that's not a carry lady here.
You personal girl.
Personal.
Right? So let me take it away from that. There's a girl that you're interested in, right? So from the beginning, you got to see a sign a choosing signal that says, look, I like this man. I'm interested in this man. She got to give you that. If you're not getting that, why pursue? Why pursue? And then going forward, all right, you find a girl that actually let you when going forward. But then along the line, you realize the relationship changes. Something else going on, or you're not getting what you expected or what we were getting before. You as a man have to be able to press brakes and say, all right, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah.
You can't keep pouring in. Because at the end of the day, all relationships are transactional. Let me get that up front, right?
Facts.
All relationships are transactional. I give something, I expect to get something in return.
Right.
Yeah. Whether it is you providing 4 Ps and you getting intimacy in return, or she doing whatever, or you as a woman, you putting out sex to get 4 Ps, all relationships transactional, right? The problem comes in that, these days, the transaction now is literally a lot of times money or
Financial.
cash
Finance.
cash
and
on
sex.
prices.
Cash on praises and sex. Yes, our praises, man.
Come on down.
That is where the problem comes, and I keep saying everything. I used to say to you, Neil, that men we get into relationships looking for love, and women in it for personal advancement. But my guy, Coach Greg Adams, puts it best: men are in love, women are in business. Men are in love, women are in business. And now let me backtrack. Not all. Right? Not all women are in business, but we as men, we need to do a better job of working out who is in business and let them, the people that want to be in business with them, they come on, like slip back. You know what I mean? My man Graves in the house.
Pimp name slip back. You got to see the whole thing.
You got to see the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest. And Graves is saying, so has the outlook of intimacy changed then as the older generation has it wrong? The evolution of love and intimacy. I think we just warped everything. I don't think that I don't think the definition of it has changed, because when you love your children and stuff like that, you do things for them and you don't really think about it. You're keeping score.
Yeah.
And that's why women to that point, that's why you would hear nonsense like some women saying they'd rather be mothers than wives. Because when you do that, you love that child unconditionally. You understand? Then they're keeping score. You ain't like saying, child, I pay for this child, that person pay for this, and this child won't even give me a hug. That's what.
But you raised this earlier in another conversation we were having about this thing about women wanting to be mothers versus being wives, and that part of the reasoning for that is because of, and I said this to you, that part of the reasoning possibly is the control factor.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Derek is saying around women being in business. There's a control element under the guise of love.
Yep.
That is at play in those situations as well. So when you were saying, when Derek was saying that men need to, be more discerning, I completely agree. And I think that there are certain conversations that men need to have sooner with a woman to be able to kind of cut to the chase, right? Like, what is your priority in trying to hang out with me as the man? Is it just to take you to this particular restaurant or to this party so you can profile? Like, you have to ask the conversation. You have to have the difficult questions sooner instead of wasting the money. Because this whole heap of pretense, I forget who was talking about dating a representative. When you're starting out the dating,
Chris Rock.
It's their representative, right? It's their representative that you're meeting. And some people have a joy meeting and dating the representatives, and all is good and dandy until right. And so I think we need to, I appreciate when men are like, yo, for real, what is your thing? What are you about? Where do you want to go? How do I fit into that equation? Am I really going to compliment you in the ways that you are envisioning a compliment type of thing? And put women, like I said at the gathering, accountability is the first part of ASL fun. if you cannot hold yourself accountable and garner accountability from the other person, as Derek always said, left it out. So if from the beginning there's no accountability and it's a dipsy doodling and she can't answer directly and say, well, yo, this is what I'm about or this is what I want, then what a point? You know, what's the point? Is the stomach really worth it?
You see, listen, Derek. I was say this woman been in Barbados for what, a couple of weeks. She got the vernacular down.
Yeah, really.
Just need to say, you gotta give me a good rassle here, no one. And you get your papers.
Yeah. Go on, man.
Yeah.
We gonna bring you roll slowly. Force is 9:25 in Barbados and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. You're watching the Senate podcast. This is episode 213, The Bus Driver. Do Eboni K. Williams' recent comments reflect how many women view relationships? Are we looking at the transactional nature of relationships? Essentially, women want to make sure that they are in the best possible position. For Neil and I, when we come and we talk on these topics, we don't come to bash women. Yeah, we come to make sure that we all understand what it is that is happening. Because at the end of the day, I think we all, I can speak for all three people on this panel, that we all want positive relationships with members of the opposite sex, right? And I'm working with Dr. Kerry trying to get you married by 2024. You know, we're working on it. Working on it.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we see how it goes. I got another friend working on her to get her married by 2024. We see how that goes as well. But we're not here to.
Wait a minute though. What about you?
Let's see how it goes, man. Let's see how it goes. You know.
Who's looking out for your interests?
Sure. Who is policing the police? You know,
exactly that.
What I'll say, since we on this kind of segue, I will definitely do the Rihanna thing on Thursday for sure.
The Rihanna thing?
Yeah, man, don't worry about it. We can talk about it Thursday. Yeah,
glad I ain't in the streets, but then sometimes it's don't be glad I ain't in the streets because then he must come and bombard. Yeah.
That is the title of Thursday stream is a business affair.
Oh,
right? Coming out to the fact that Rihanna is allegedly in no rush to marry ASAP Rocky. Right?
But having all these damn babies though, such
shit.
Sorry.
Hey, yo, Rihanna playing the game like a mother woman here. Don't get tat.
Coach Greg Adams calls it the free agent lifestyle, but we can break that on Thursday. Right?
Okay.
So, you know, as we wrap up, Neil, I want us to all be mindful again of everything that's happening. You know, we come here, we highlight these things. We are not here to bash men. We are here so we can talk through these problems, be aware of what's going on. See, Lee said we planned it in Dr. Kerry, so you got a little help. We gonna start with Zoe and everything, wrong things right?
Yay!
But yeah, we are not here to bash women. We're here to make sure that, you know, we have a bit of dialogue and we can hear the other side and or have our side heard as well. Because I think that's the part kind of missing. We don't really hear from the men except when we in the barbershop. I had a conversation with three young guys on Saturday afternoon. And one guy, we ended up talking politics and stuff like that. And then kind of swing around the relationships. And one of the guys was saying, yo, I thought I was all by myself. I didn't know the other men experiencing the same things. And I said, yeah, this is why, you know, because we don't fraternize, we don't talk. We talk sports, politics. Because essentially, we as men, we think, yeah, I don't want to be a burden to nobody. So I share my problems with nobody.
Or you want to come over as weak. Right? You want to come over as weak.
Yeah.
Not being able to problem
solve.
So
it's like, you know, all right. And so we trying to push in what men think out there so we can have a bit more discussion and we can understand where the other person is coming from, where the other side is thinking, saying. And then until we got kind of tell the truth a little bit about some of the things that really happen, because there are a lot of misconceptions out there.
Oh Lord.
For one, I got a friend message me here, so tell me that men that cheat more than women. They don't need that. That's the one that you would love to deal with.
Brother, man.
Because
I was in the
didn't
gym
bother
the
to give
other
for the
day.
numbers.
I was in the gym the other
Yeah.
day and I get the numbers
They
to a
told me.
woman and the woman tell me that number seem low. I said, low? You think? I said 25, 24%. That low.
Yeah. Which is about 1 in every 4 men. So ladies, for those of you who think that all men are here cheating,
You're not.
ask yourself about your relationships. See how many of the men you've had, how many of them cheated on you.
And
Right?
also consider, ladies, the men
Man,
ain't
they
cheating
cheated
with
with
men.
themselves. So
Men ain't
the
cheating
men
with
cheated
men.
with somebody.
They cheated with somebody.
Also, again, just another add on to that. If a man, you're probably just cheating with one particular kind of. You're looking at bus drivers, so you can't count them. Looking at white collar guys. Any of us, Neil and I, we do not
Wait. Sorry. Just one real quick thing. Sorry. Jimmy mentioned something earlier, and I made a note here to go back to it. He says maybe we should ignore the BS that is on social media and look at real life and know that on social media is reality. The problem is, Jimmy, I think people don't want the truth. This is going back to what Derek just said. People want to live in a state of delusion or pacificity or lack of accountability. Nobody wants to do the hard work. Social media is a great tool, but people are using it to escape reality. Right? That is why, because social media is a place that can feed into all of your perspectives, good, bad, and indifferent, and it can justify toxic behavior. So instead of you looking at yourself and you can see other men and women talking the things that align with you being mediocre and not taking accountability for yourself, you can take that on. Instead of saying, yeah, I see that looks sexy, but it don't make sense. So social media does the senses. It's like, that's why there's a lot of studies that shows like dopamine. It's like a drug. You know what I'm saying? Because when you hit it, you feel good. And you don't coming on that high, you go hit it again. Right? A lot of people don't realize, like, yeah, this is a fun thing. This could be a tool in the right hands, but you both there hitting the crowd and in the middle of the street now, prickle, and one where you can't find love. So I think that is the reason why ignoring social media ain't gonna happen anytime soon. You could bring all the studies, you could bring all of the people talking about social media, etc. I think people live in miserable lives and people want that escape. People are unhappy generally, particularly in the West, and we want escape. So the unfortunate thing is social media is here to stay until another piece of technology comes out to kind of mitigate that situation. And yeah, that is why a lot of men and women out here expecting very unrealistic outcomes for things that just can't happen.
Yeah. Boss, Dr. Kerry, Neil, and myself, we don't make the rules. We just make sure you know where they are. Yeah. You can ignore reality all you want. Cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. Be the best version of you for you. We are going to see you guys again on Thursday. Look out for a short coming tomorrow and a short coming on Friday. Expect some wellness out there.
Oh,
so look out.
Bush out there, brother. I've been holding. I want you to know I've been holding about the bush, you know. The true wellness I've been holding about, you know. Only because I try to have some sort of. If I do straight wellness, it can be wellness for like 3 weeks straight. So I try to break it up with thought provoking, conversation starters. But boy, I run out to them. I run out to them.
Who needs that? Nobody needs that in life.
Yeah, sure, I got time for that.
Before we punch out of here, also please be reminded, August 20th, that's a Sunday, 6 p.m., the King's Gathering, the second edition. We're going to be having that. It's going to be hosted at the Ginger Lily Hall in the Bell Estates. One more time, big up to the Mannings, and also big up to Tamtar Culinary Creations for coming on board and assisting in this particular venture this time around. So look out, listen out. More information, more thought-provoking discussions coming at that particular event. We hope to see you there, folks, as you traverse and not perverse these dating streets. Please be reminded. We can see you all on Thursday. Be good. Peace.
Love.